Head Lily. Today we're going to do innocent makeup tutorial, something that you might let your younger sister or your daughter, whatever, wear to school. So we're going to start out by pulling my hair back because I don't want to get makeup in my hair. Okay. Well, that didn't work because of my bangs. That's okay though, because I can put a halo on. So you guys can see me a little better. So we are going to use our Vander brushes today. We're going to keep using these for the next few videos, except for to blend my foundation. I will be using some Emax Design brushes. The first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take my Sheer Envy by Hard Candy and spritzy my face. And then we are also going to take the Longwear Primer Sheer Envy. And we're going to rub that all over our face. So the next thing we're going to do is take some foundation, liquid foundation, and I need to pull out a mirror for this. And I'm just going to drop some. On the high points of my face. And then I'm going to take my Emax Design angled powder brush. To distribute that across my whole face. I gotta say, it doesn't look as patchy as I had expected. But I am going to go ahead and come in with my Emax Design Beauty Blender and blend this out just to get a more even look. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is I'm going to take just a little concealer with an Emax blooming brush. And we're just gonna pounce that a little just to blend it a little more. What I'm gonna do is, and you guys can tell your daughters not to do this. I don't care. I mean, I do care, but I personally need to shade in my eyebrows. So I'm going to take my e.l.f. brow and liner gel. And pull out my angled brow brush and dip a little bit in there. Okay, so we're not going to color in the whole eyebrow right now. In fact, we're just going to put a little in and then take our brow comb Okay, so we now have our eyebrows taken care of. What we're going to do now is I'm going to take a little bit of setting powder and set my eyebrows. I'm actually going to use this highlighting brush because it's going to cover more area faster. So now we have our eyebrows set. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Hard Candy Take Me Out liner in the shade Soy, and we're going to line our lower lid.
Shutting down the government would be very against the military. It does paralyze everything that we do. It's the building for that. John Paul also was last night on the White House about President Trump just tweeting that he supports this budget deal, but still faces some opposition in the House. It sure does. First of all, House conservative hate this weird because it includes massive spending increases. And Nancy Pelosi today broke the record for the longest speech on the House floor.
So we have our lower lid line now. Before I continue, I do want to ask you all to like this video, leave a comment down below what you guys want to see in the next video. Always subscribe. I do have a shout out for a new subscriber, Sailor Moon. I'm sure that's not your real name, but thank you for subscribing. You just get me one step closer to my goal. Everyone who subscribes, guys, share me with your friends. Get me as many subscribers as you can. So from here, we are going to grab my Hard Candy Mod Quad. And we're actually going to do it just as it says on the back. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the number 1 color, which is this almost white color. It's going to highlight our brow bones. So we're going to come into this Vander set. And find us a blooming brush. I know I've got a couple in here. We're going to use this small blooming brush because I do have hooded eyes, and so I don't have very much brow shape there. But we're going to come in and get us some of this number 1. And before we actually apply it, we are going to come in with some Hard Candy Ice the Limit. This is the original. And we don't use very much. A little goes a super long way with this stuff. And I'm glad because that's the biggest bottle I've ever seen, and it's still not very big. And as you guys know, that is my favorite eye primer on Earth. I wouldn't know about other planets. I haven't personally traveled space, so who knows, maybe there's one on Mars. Okay, so now we've primed our eyes. We're going to fan at them a little bit. And we're going to set them. You want to make sure they're completely dry and set before you actually start adding pigment. So I'm going to start with the number 1. I'm going to start right underneath my brow bone and bring it down and cover the whole lid. Because this is not only going to highlight my brow bone, but but this is going to act as a blending color. So, we've got step 1 done. Step 2 is we're going to go from our waterline to almost the outer corner of our eye with the number 2 color, which is just slightly darker. We're going to come back into our brush bag, and we're going to get an angled lid brush.
Jimmy's proud of how hundreds of families. He's most proud of the one who's kept numbers. Get paid twice as fast with QuickBooks Smart Invoicing.
So, we've got that done. Now we're going to take the number 3 color and go from that middle to the outer corner. So for that, we're going to get a smaller lid brush. And this number 3 is almost a smoky rose gold.
Make a big impression this time. Introducing the perfectly paired collection from Pro Flowers and Sherry's Berries. What you don't see can hurt you. If you just monitor your credit, you can miss certain identity theft threats. LifeLock sees more, like your personal information on the dark web. And if there is a problem, we'll work to fix it with our $1 million protection package. LifeLock, starting at $9.99 a month.
Alright, so our next step is we are going to get a smudging brush. Because step 4, you'll take this darkest color here. Take just a little on the smudge brush and go under your eye.
And my biggest question is why?
Tonight, police desperately searching for
And
killing 2 people and injuring 2 others.
put a medium line across your upper lid.
About an hour north of Vegas, the suspect shot and wounded a man outside a convenience store. About 2.5 hours later, at 3:06 a.m., the shooter kills his first victim. And then at 7:13 a.m., a third man targeted near the famous Las Vegas Strip. He shot in the head, but manages to survive. And then
So, from there, we are now going to come in and get my NYX AK liquid liner and start at the waterline. Do a thin line right across. Now, for a lot of you younger kids, this is as far as you're going to want to go. A because wings are hard. It took me like 2 years to master my wings, and I'm sure some of y'all would still say I haven't mastered them. B, it makes you look a little more innocent. But I am going to go ahead and add a wing by starting just under my eyebrow and keeping a steady hand, making a diagonal down to the waterline. And we're going to let that dry before we open our eyes because we don't want to crease. And it just looks so much velvetier and smoother and prettier.
But Prevagen helps your brain with an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. In clinical trials, Prevagen has been shown to improve short-term memory. Prevagen, the name to remember. Hey, what's the double deep fried butter? Sometimes the right choice is easy. Wonderful halos. Sweet, seedless, easy feel. These names are bad for everyone. Good choice, kid.
Alright, now we're going to let that eye dry.
Like you do sometimes, Grandpa?
Well, when you have COPD, it can be hard to breathe. It can be hard to get air out, which can make it hard to get air in. So I talked to my doctor.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to take a puffier brush and take a little bit of that setting powder again.
Medicines like formoterol increase the risk of death from asthma problems. Symbicort may increase your risk of lung infections, osteoporosis, and some eye problems. You should tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it.
Symbicort treating the day with better breathing. My chest, baby.
Get Symbicort free for up to 1 year. Visit SaveOnSymbicort.com today to learn more.
And we're just going to tap it onto our eye.
AstraZeneca may be able to help.
To the index of other news, the desperate search for a missing mother.
Make sure everything is dry.
A mother of four was last seen on January 25th. More than 30 law enforcement agencies are now searching the area where she was last seen. Her disappearance is being called suspicious tonight. K3 star Rob Gronkowski's 911 call made public now. Super Bowl discovered the break-in. This is an emergency. This is
Somehow I got Princess Poppy hair going on. So, the next thing we're going to do is I'm actually going to move my brushes. And we're going to take my Hard Candy Cheeky Tints in Geisha. We're only going to put a small dot. As you can see, it looks very dark right there. And this says to blend it with your fingers, so that's what we do.
What is the power of Pacific? It's life insurance and retirement solutions to help you reach your goals. It's having the confidence to create the future that's most meaningful to you. It's protection for generations of people and 150 years of strength and stability.
And we do blend right above our eyebrow just to make a connection to our cheekbone.
Ask a financial advisor. If you're 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia that can take you out of the game for weeks.
So now we're going to take our setting brush and we're going to blend this a little deeper think I put a little too much. So we're going to put a little less on the other cheek. You start right at the apple of your cheek and blend up. Blend up. Blend up. And if you think you have gone too far with the blush, which I think I have, it's very simple to fix. And I'll show you how to do that right now. I'm going to take this L'Oreal True Match and I'm going to come in with an angled powder brush. Pick up as much of the powder as I can with it. This is a very soft brush. And as long as it is your skin tone that you are using, you can cover up almost any mistake you've made with your makeup. And this will also set it. So, we are now, I'm going to add just a little less innocence. We're going to come in with the Poppin' Pigments duo of Land and Sea. Which is pure glitter. And I'm going to start with Land. And guys, I tap on my palm just so that I can, or on the back of my hand, just so I can see how much I'm tapping, which apparently is not very much with this Land. So I'm going to go ahead and lose the cap real quick. I'm going to take a small blooming brush and dip it right in there. And guys, I don't want y'all to freak out. This is cosmetic grade glitter. It is safe to be near your eyes and face. And we're going to close our eyes and come up with this Land all over our lid.
Now on a trajectory toward the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, where it could stay over for millions, if not billions of years. We just got back some future alien race. Thinking what next? What were you guys doing with the abortion?
Just gonna make us glitter a little. Okay, so we only need this one last brush, so I'm gonna put all these lids back on here. Toss it back in the little box.
That's the first time a private company had ever done that.
I think the windows are very telling, aren't they?
Yeah,
It is what you plan on doing.
it is absolutely.
They want Americans looking through those windows one day. But for now, just a mannequin in a car, barreling for Jupiter and Mars. This image, posted just as we came on the air tonight.
So, we now have Land up there. What are we going to do with the sea? We're going to put it right in the creases of our eyes. We're going to tap a little on our palm here. We don't need much. It is a thinner glitter, so it was easier to tap out. this one brush will do both eyes. Because we only want slight blue accents. So now I'm going to take my blending brush, and we're going to blend down some of this glitter. So, the next thing we do is dig through our magical bag, and we're going to pull out the hard candy powder cake in the shade Inked. I keep wanting to call this Blue Lagoon, but no, that was the nail polish that I got. We're going to do just a little underwing. If you didn't do a wing, this is purely an accent. And we're going to blend it down so it's not such an abrasive color. Because this is a very opaque blue. Alright, next thing we're going to do is contouring. It's going to be light contouring since this is an innocent schoolgirl type makeup. So the first thing we're going to have to do is find the brush that I'm looking for. Here it is. And I'm actually using an eyeshadow palette for this. And I'm going to go in with the color Dark Roast from this 99-cent store eyeshadow nude palette. And pick up just a little of the color. You know what, I need to put a lid back on this glitter. I have lost my mind. Okay, there it is. Found my mind. Okay, so we're going to actually start below our cheekbones. So it's very opaque, but that's okay, we're going to blend it out.
Two powerhouse teams now facing punishment for a fight on the court. The ball broke out after the game when it had between DeSoto and Duncanville High School.
So we've just applied a little bit of pigment slightly darker than your own skin tone right under the cheekbones and blended it down to emphasize your cheekbones. We're going to come in with the shade Sand now. We're picking up a little more of that pigment because we're going to minimize our foreheads now. And I just happen to have a 6 head. Y'all heard of the 4 head, the 5 head. I got a 6 head. And we're just going to blend that out now. Alright, I'm now going to take this Color Workshop contour stick. and narrow my nose. And this is a very light contour, so I also use it for a bronzer from time to time.
Dallas is still the Wild West for a fight little, and it looks like Denton is learning the lesson. Yesterday, the City Council drafted some new rules. As in Dallas, people have complained about fights out in the sidewalk. The permit requirement is not taken action as well. Highland Park banned them all together. Plano is drafting its own ordinance, and Dallas.
And we're just blending now. So the next thing we're going to do is highlight, my favorite part. So I'm actually going to use my own highlight. Ooh, I almost broke my knuckle there. This was actually homemade, and I will probably do a tutorial on it within the next couple weeks, as soon as I get the money to buy everything I need for it again. But it was basically, do I have the little pots of it left? I don't think I do. But it was coconut oil, vitamin E oil, just a little bit of all, glycerin, white, gold, silver, and a shadow, and the whole thing from this cream eyeshadow.
They gave me a date, and I'm okay exactly at that time. And then for them to tell me to come back the next day, that's not good.
As lines were forming and people were waiting,
So what I'm going to do
and remained down until late Tuesday afternoon.
is drippy droppy right above my cheekbone.
He's described it as a short backlog of customers.
It's only 2 steps. They need more than 2 because that's what every.
And some customers say that those workers are
At the bridge of my nose,
Before I came up to the window, she told one of the ladies, "Can you not read the sign right there?" And it said, "Shut down."
Customers say on positive note, the city's telling those who showed up to the auto town on Monday and Tuesday, they'll get a credit for the time they couldn't pick up their car. However, Jonathan Thatcher Boston wasted no time giving the city a piece of his mind over computer issues and delays.
Upgrade your security to where the computers don't go down, and if they do go down, have a backup system.
and we're going to blend that with our fingers because I've noticed it loses some of its shimmer if you actually blend it with a brush.
And a deputy checking for wild ride once she jumped in a car with an intoxicated driver.
Alright, so since I've got most of the shimmer I want going on, I will start blending with a brush now.
We're supposed to come here in 2017 too, but the owners who were operating out of Plano announced that the tour had to be canceled because of low ticket sales. They offered refunds. That was back in July and August, but it's now February, and there are hundreds of women across the country, including here in DFW.
Alright, and so we're going to take my small highlighter brush now by Vander. And I'm going to come in and grab some of this number 1 shade from the Mod Quad.
The pain level was over 10, and my doctor recommended that I go to Whitby
And get my nose.
It's the first time that I had no pain.
Visit us this week only. When you buy a 3-step system, you'll get a pair of supports free.
And my cheeks.
The opportunity for everyone to explore a digital world. Connecting with family, friends, the things that matter most. And because nothing keeps us
So, the next, and I think the last thing, is my lips. And today, since it's going to be a more innocent makeup tutorial, I think I'm actually going to use, both of them are, this one is the e.l.f. and it's in the color neutral.
So my feet hurt so bad in the morning. I built all this together to engineer a solution to my pain. Finally, going to get feet.
Alright, now the actual final step is setting. So my mattifying setting spray by Hard Candy. Spritzy, spritzy. Setting powder. And I'm going to use an Emax design brush for that. It's an angled powder brush. And we're going to set that all over the face.
And 65, detectives of someone will know who he is. Buc-ee's is coming to the moment to confirm the convenience store broke down Monday.
Alright. Now all this let's clean up. May not be receiving a brush to review for here on. If I'm reviewing a brush cleaning system, it's gonna clean as I possibly can. Sure.
Over 30 years, Dallas stands in changing lives. And you donate your car or truck today and get a our way of saying thanks. Call or visit carsforkids.org today. Remember, get off the car, not the kid.
Have it.
Eczema exposed. Your eczema could do something called atopic dermatitis, which can cause that inflammation under your doctor.
So I really do like the fact that Vander's brushes did come with sleeves. Lighter brushes. I really like that. It's a little added care factor so that our bristles don't get all frayed. The only thing is the small highlighter brush was already frayed. I'm not sure how I feel about that. And for the most part, is actually the each brush are organized by size for the most part. And so if I pull out multiple brushes like I did today, I can always put them right back where they belong. Not that I ever really forget where they belong in the first place, though. I'm pretty OCD about that.
Tonight, a dog is finally back in the arms of his owner. It's homecoming more than a decade in the making. Dallas woman said that she had given up all hope of ever seeing him again. Detective Jones explained how they were finally reunited.
And the case does have a flap. I wish I could show you guys, but the phone is charging. But the flap covers the bristles of most of the brushes. The ones that it doesn't, the bristles are actually plastic or don't need covered. Like the brow comb and the mascara brush. I think those are the only two that it doesn't cover, besides the large highlighter brush that comes with a sheath specifically for it to make sure that the bristles don't get frayed.
Iris captured the reunion live, a moment that shared more than 3,000 times on Facebook and over 87,000.
And with that, I bid you guys adieu. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. Keep it up, guys. Keep your chins up so you don't drown in the road. Keep on fighting, and always, always, always. Scars remind us that the past is real. Until next time, guys.